all by myself.
Oy vey.
Hi everybody, today I am going to be making a chocolate cake from scratch. And I'm doing it alone because everybody is busy working and it's my friend's birthday and I want to make them something special, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven. Aren't you proud of me, John? I'm going to actually use the conventional convectionist bake, where it bakes all around, because I have to make 2 cakes to make the one. I looked at a bunch of recipes and it's all the same. You start with the dry ingredients first, as opposed to the wet ingredients, like when you're doing cookies. This could be a total disaster, so I actually made chocolate chip cookies as a backup. You can watch that very short video right here. If you're interested, I have a secret ingredient I used. Now, I pre-measured everything for the sake of this video. You can look at all the measurements in the description box below, but this is the flour. This is the sugar. This is the cocoa powder. Now, please don't use like the crappy kind. Use a good kind like Ghirardelli. And this is baking soda and baking powder and salt. So I'm gonna stir that up real good. Please forgive me if the sunniness and the cloudiness keeps going in and out, so some of this might seem brighter and then darker. I'll try to fix it in post, but again, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm a one-woman show. So that's all stirred up. Now I'm going to add 2 eggs. Got my handy dandy mixer. You're probably wondering why I didn't use the stand-up one. It's because it's not really gonna pick up on the camera, even on the second one, because the mixer base is kind of in the way, so I'm just gonna do a regular one. It's a cloud of chocolate smoke. Okay, the eggs are beaten in there, and now I'm going to put in a cup of milk. I also need a ½ cup of vegetable oil. Now it's starting to look like cake batter. Smells so good. And now I'm gonna add some vanilla. Now the final ingredient is 1 cup of boiling water. This cake is great because, the summer months are coming. There's a lot of outdoor birthday parties. You want to wow some people. Not 100% from scratch, because the frosting is not going to be from scratch. I got the store bought, and I'm really sorry about that, but I was too afraid to make it myself. Okay, let's give that a mix. So now, before I make a mess and pouring them into the pans, I buttered 2 9x12 round pans. I actually put a piece of parchment paper on top as well. This way it comes out really clean. I'm going to try to make it as even as possible. It's my first time. It would help me. So I'll start with that. See how that looks. Even. Let me see. Looks about even. More on this one. I would say this is probably the most important part, right? Because you don't want to make one thicker than the other. I'm gonna put these in the oven. It says 30 to 35 minutes.
Okay guys, I took it out after 30 minutes because I stuck a toothpick in and it came out clean. But as you can see, this top part broke and this side part broke. Now, in actuality, it doesn't matter because you're going to frost it, but I'm going to tell you why I think this happened. I kept seeing video after video that said when you flip them out, to turn them over again because you want the outer part you're going to frost to be on the outside to cool quicker. But that made those pieces break, so I wouldn't do that again. And another tip is when you take the parchment paper off, take it off very slowly because you don't want the little pieces to break off, because a little came off at first when I went too fast. But that's the part that's going to be in between the cake getting frosted. All in all, not a total disaster. I never did it before, and you know what? It gave me a chance to try a little piece, and it is delicious.
So my cakes have cooled. I have one of the cakes on top of this cake tray. And underneath the cake, I cut out little pieces of parchment paper. So this way when I'm icing it and some gets on the side, probably not some, probably a lot, the way I do things, I could just pull those pieces of parchment paper out and it won't disturb the cake. I learned that on YouTube. And underneath the actual cake tray is this black spinner. Now, this black spinner I bought off of Amazon. I bought it for photo shoots. You ever see those product photography videos where the item is turning around and the camera kind of zooms in on it? Well, that's what this is for. But I figured it would really come in handy here when I'm trying to ice the cake. Instead of having to spin it around, you know, maneuver myself, I can just go like this with the spreader and it should go. In theory. So let's see how that turns out. But before I actually do that, I want to show you one more thing that I did. I peeled some chocolate. I took a bar of chocolate and I just took a peeler and I made little shavings. I just figured that would be like a nice little extra touch. Now, I don't know if that juice was worth the squeeze because it took me a long time and my arms got tired, but that could be because I'm hungover. Because last night, my father-in-law came over. Maybe you've seen him in the video where he makes some cheesecake. I'll link that right up here. We drank a little too much wine and I knew I had to do this video today, but I still didn't stop myself. Let's get on with it. Now, we all know I didn't make the frosting from scratch, but what I did do was to make it look a little fluffier, and like I did make it from scratch, is that I took it, put it in a bowl, and I mixed it with a mixer. That's all. It just makes it look a little more homemade. No one will really know the difference. They might after seeing this video. I don't know which one of these I'm gonna use. So I gotta use one for the top, the sides, and then maybe this little one to just make little marks. I don't know. I'm just gonna do it as I go along, and you're gonna take this trip with me. So let me plug in the spinner. Pop some on the top. Oh. I told you, this might be a disaster. I don't know. Maybe I should turn the spinner off and just spread it a little first. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Breaking up a little bit, and it's moving away with the parchment paper. All right, it's not that bad. Or is it? Get it together. All right. So let's just get it on with that, and then we'll use one of the smaller ones to just kind of even it out, I guess. A piece came off. This is the inside, so I guess I don't have to spin it, right? That looks good enough. I'm gonna fill that little divot there. I'm gonna go get the other cake. I am slapping it on top. I mean, the sides from the pieces falling off. All right, let's just do the best we can. That's all we could do. Okay, let's plop that on. That's actually better at the top. I like it. Looks like it's going on better. I saw on one of the videos to just like plop and then spread down. So, the spatula. Why did I just have vocal fry right there? I don't know. It's because I am fried. I'm gonna be very careful when I have this one spot here. So I don't want to push on it too much because that's the spot that had a little hole in it. There. Alright. Good thing my friends love me because I'm not looking too good. Alright, it's not looking too bad. I just want to get the sides though before I fully judge. And I definitely think that's where the spinner will come in handy. Let's see what happens. What's the worst? Well, that's not a bad idea, because look, kind of going up. Ooh! A piece fell. We'll just stick it on there. Oh boy. Maybe the spinner isn't a good idea. Let's just do it, right? That piece. Oh, let it fall. Follow the recipe right. All right, I'll fix that after. Let's get the sides. I'm gonna have to like glue it with the frosting. Don't worry, I washed my hands. It tastes good. I washed my hands. Really thought that spinner thing would come in handy. Well, it is. Technically, it's letting me spin it, right? If I didn't have it, I couldn't be doing this. So I've come to realize that this is the hardest part. I think it's not a big birthday. Like if it was like a 50th birthday, they'd be really let down. This parchment paper is really letting me get in there. Okay, this little spatula, it's letting me get in the spots that are kind of broken. So I highly suggest you get a big spatula and a small spatula. It's looking better. Right, when I get to that side, that looks like something got into it. That's where I'm gonna just stop right there. Yeah, this broken part, it's really making it not look pretty. And I'm very upset about that because I really wanted it to look perfect. But I'm gonna take that piece out. Can I fix it? I don't know. Let me see. Let's try. Just seems to be making it worse. How am I gonna present this cake? Now I'm sweating. I look like a mess. I'll just present it to them without looking at the back. Maybe I should make up some story that like it got dented, like I dropped it or it fell to the side in the car. Can I get away with that? Once they see this, they'll know that it was a total lie. So this side is not looking good, friends. It's not. If you unsubscribe to my channel, I'll understand why completely. The rest of it doesn't look bad, but that one part looks like someone smashed into it. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to that story that it happens in the car. I really have no idea why that happened because I followed it. The rest of it came out okay. It was just that one spot and it just kept getting worse. It's like a cut. Like, you know, like you just keep picking at it and it gets worse and worse. That's exactly what happened. It just got worse and worse. I'm not gonna cry about it. I mean, that part does not look bad at all, but when you get to that, how am I gonna even, maybe I just cut it off and say we took a piece out of it. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna take this part and just kind of swirl it so it kind of looks nice. You know, the good part. Oh my goodness. Look how nice the rest of it looks. Come on. How come the rest can't look like that? Like, it's like, oh yeah, baby, look at that. And then it's like, what the hell happened to you? I'm gonna take some of those chocolate shavings. Oh my God, it looks so pretty with it. Why? Why did that one part happen like that? All right, well, what are you gonna do, right? There's worse things in life. Good thing I'm not trying for any kind of contest because I wouldn't win. It does taste good though. At least this worked.
Oh, what happened there? It looks like someone died.
I think it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's amazing on one side, but it looks slightly damaged, but yet delicious on the other side.